Good morning, Dragons. Welcome back to the most informative news show of the 21st century. I'm Phoenix.
I'm Gavin, and today we're bringing you news you need to know. In recent news, a historic lake on the north shore of Lake Superior was destroyed by a fire this Tuesday.
Just before 12:30 Tuesday morning, the Cook County Sheriff's Office received notification of a fire alarm at the lodge. Staff said there was smoke coming from the floor in the lobby area. Within a few minutes, crews arrived.
The first arriving engine got here and the building was full of smoke. They weren't able to get inside to try to knock it down.
Lutsen Fire Chief Stephen Duclos says in under 10 minutes, the lodge was fully engulfed. A frustrating situation for many of the firefighters whose connections to the lodge run deep.
I met my wife here when I worked in the kitchen back in 2004. The Lutsen holds a special place for a lot of people that live here, local folks. A lot of us worked at this place at one time, met our wives here, got married here, things like that. So it takes a little bite out of you, to lose a place like this.
As smoke billowed and excavators worked to remove items from the basement where hot spots were occurring, locals and out-of-town visitors came to get a first-hand look at the loss.
We'll go skiing, snowboarding and stuff, and then later in the afternoon we'd come back over here and use a hot tub and sauna and stuff.
It's an iconic hotel where, always stop by and have a drink, look over the shore, beautiful area.
The lodge that burned down on Tuesday was built in 1952 after the main lodge was destroyed by a fire in 1949 and again in 1951.
Fortunately, our next story has a happy ending. Belle of the Great Pyrenees was at the wrong place at the wrong time, but that didn't matter to the Illinois firefighters who were ready to pull her out the icy pond.
She's going under.
This is a sight no dog owner would ever want to see.
Unfortunately, thought for a minute that I was going to watch her just die in front of my eyes.
Roseanne, who didn't want to use her last name, is talking about her 7-year-old, 120-pound Great Pyrenees dog named Belle.
She's just a wonderful, wonderful dog.
Long Grove Fire Protection District crews did some heavy lifting Friday morning.
I think she's pretty exhausted.
When they pulled the soaking wet dog from an icy pond off of Route 53.
I freaked out. I start crying. I start screaming to her, Belle, Belle, keep your feet up on the ice because, we're going to get you out of there.
Roseanne says Friday was a typical morning. She was getting dressed and Belle was in the backyard until she heard her dog yelling.
And I heard really high-pitched screaming. I thought, oh, that doesn't sound good. And so I went to find her to see what was going on, and that's when I looked out the back window and I saw her treading water in the middle of the pond.
She tried to save Belle herself, but the sand at the bottom of the pond was making her feet get stuck.
It's all like quicksand there. You can't walk in it.
So she called 911.
When they pulled up, they could see the dog on the ice and through the ice and was getting pretty tired. The dog actually had its paws sitting out on the shelf, waiting to get some help.
Roseanne says Belle was in the water for 30 minutes, which the Long Grove Fire Department says is a long time.
Anytime that water, especially for dogs, gets around 50 degrees, it's about 20-30 minutes is about all they can handle, and then they've got all that wet fur afterwards. So they're looking at hypothermia fairly quickly.
Fortunately, they got Belle out just in time.
If it wasn't for the firemen and their skills and their compassion, she would have been a goner.
Reporting in Long Grove, Sade Gray, CBS 2 News.
Probably a half hour.
Thankfully, those trained professionals were ready and equipped to save Belle.
Speaking of trained professionals, 2 University of Kentucky students are training dogs to be certified service dogs.
This is Babe. She's from the Taylor Swift litter.
This is Chewy. He is from the Star Wars litter.
Babe and Chewy are bonus students on UK's campus right now.
Everybody on campus is just they love to see your dogs. They love to pet them. Professors are just great with the dogs.
While these students have 4 paws and a tail, what they're learning is invaluable.
People don't realize how much dogs can help, so They can do anything from seizure alert to helping with PTSD attacks, diabetes alert.
Through the 4 Paws for Ability program, dogs are trained skills to see if they have what it takes to become a service dog.
Give me the other 5. Good girl.
The main thing is we try to really work on their obedience in public, just getting them used to going out in public, going to restaurants, class, like things that like kids would do, because these dogs normally get placed with like little kids.
Go, keep going, yeah, good boy, Chewy.
I am a primary trainer, so there's 2 different types of trainers. There's primary and secondary. The secondaries are just babysitters that watch dogs whenever they want. I typically get my dogs at 8 weeks old, and then I have them until they go to advanced training back at 4 Paws.
It's a lot to balance.
I am busy. I'm a student and I also work full-time right now.
But it's worth it to Nick and Sarah.
I just think companionship, there is nothing like a dog.
My first one, he was named Pappy. He is a service dog now.
Pappy has been trained to help a little girl with mobility.
She could only walk on her own for about 5 to 10 minutes at that, with having to like take breaks, and she would fall over and stuff like that. And once she got Pappy, she's able to walk now for hours and hours on end. It was just like an overwhelming of emotions, just that I helped train that dog and now he's changing somebody's life.
Lastly, we'd like to give you guys in class some intergalactic news. Let's move away from the Earth, approximately 793 million miles away from the Earth, to Saturn.
I'm glad you said something because I've been wanting to talk about recent news on a ringed planet. Astronomers have uncovered more evidence that one of the Saturn's smallest moons, Mimas, is hiding a global ocean beneath its icy surface. A French research team suspects the ocean is about 12.4 miles to 18.6 miles deep beneath the moon's ice shell. In 2014, European researchers determined that either a rigid, elongated, and rocky core or a subsurface ocean caused the moon's rotation and motion.
Now, researchers say the evolution of the moon's orbit over time suggests an internal ocean shaped its motion. Finding a source of water could help scientists gain a better understanding of where to search for habitable worlds. That's because water is essential to life as we know it. The latest findings were published Wednesday in the journal Nature.
That's it for us, folks.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye, Dragons.